Hey everybody, Shidinkai here, and today I'm really excited to share with you all my review of the Forces of Valor 1x700 scale model Enterprise. So, for those of you who aren't too familiar with Forces of Valor, they're pretty famous for making what I call hybrid model designs. And by hybrid, I mean they're usually made of part plastic and part die-cast. Now, in the case of the warships that they make, everything below the waterline tends to be die-cast and everything above it tends to be plastic. And personally, I love this approach because it enables them to give you all the detail of a plastic model, but the die-cast gives it a solidarity that you just normally don't find. And when it comes to warships, it feels really, really appropriate. So with that being said, before I even begin to talk about the model, I want to talk about the Big E itself. And when you get right down to it, guys, I really do believe that the SCVN-65 Enterprise is the most famous post-World War II era aircraft carrier in existence. And for good reason. I mean, when she was launched in 1962, she was completely state-of-the-art. Not only was she the world's first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, but she's the only aircraft carrier that has ever featured two nuclear reactors. Not only that, but the ship was just absolutely massive. She could carry 4,600 men, which really kind of legitimized the floating city title. She could carry tons and tons of aircraft. She weighed in at over 93,000 tons, and she was over 1,100 feet. In fact, I believe, if I remember correctly, she's the longest aircraft carrier to have ever been made. So there was just so many awesome things about this ship, and it holds a special place in my heart because I grew up a military brat. In fact, I got to walk alongside the Enterprise many, many times as a kid because my dad was stationed aboard aircraft carriers that would dock alongside the Enterprise. Now, I didn't really have the opportunity to go on board the Enterprise. It was nonetheless cool to walk alongside it and to just behold this mammoth warship. So with that being said, let's talk about the model itself. And you know what? This is going to be one of the easier reviews I've ever done because this model is just absolutely fantastic. I really have found no complaints that I could lob against it. It's just so well done. I can understand now why Forces of Valor sold out of these so quickly and had to reissue this model. It may in fact, and this is just my opinion, but it may in fact be one of the best overall warships that they've ever made. And it's just, first and foremost, it's absolutely massive. I mean, I guess if there was a ship that would make the Yamato look tiny, this would be it. But it's just a really cool ship. So first and foremost, here's going to be the base stand it sits on. Just a normal plastic stand, nothing too crazy. So let me put that aside here. And first, let's start off by looking at the details. And immediately one of the things I really like is the fact that they actually show detail along the catwalk here, which is just really cool. And here's the phalanx, otherwise known as the Sea Whiz. And they even managed to detail the sandbags that are located along the catwalk, which is just a really nice touch. As we move along here, you're going to notice one of the life rafts, one of the elevators. Actually, too soon. Elevator right here. And you can actually kind of see through the hangar bay right there. And this model's so big I actually can't turn it completely around, but hopefully you guys can see the back here and appreciate the detail Forces of Valor put into it. And it's just all well done. The build quality of it seems very nice, and I don't see too many workmanship errors, which is really, really nice. Maybe I just got lucky, but I'm really impressed by that. Also, as a random aside, see the rudders here. The Enterprise is the only aircraft carrier, at least in the U.S. Navy, that has 4 rudders. That's kind of cool. Anyways, and here we have the famous box-shaped island. And in the back, we have the Big E. And overall, this is just a really well-done ship. I mean, I guess I could pick nits here and talk about how the flight deck's a little too light gray. I mean, real aircraft carriers are usually more black in color than light gray, but you know what? It's not too big of a deal. So the question is, what do you actually get with the Enterprise? And I will show that off here in just a second. And I'm back with the accessories, and the first thing I want to show you is the E equals mc squared equation, and this actually is supposed to represent the sailors aboard the ship. And what would happen is, for photo ops, the sailors would go out, make this formation, and it's essentially an homage to the fact that this is the world's first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. So I think it's really a nice touch that Forces of Valor decided to include this. Next, we have a whole bunch of aircraft. Now, at first, I admit I was scared that these aircraft were going to look like crap, and I'm really excited that the opposite is true. They look fantastic, and I'm not sure how good of a job my camera's going to do showing them off because I'm keeping them in their plastic casing here, but right here we can see a couple ETC Hawkeyes. We can see some Seahawks. We see some F-18A Hornets, and we see a whole bunch of F-14s. Some with their wings swept back, some with the wings swept outwards. We have some Vikings, and I believe these are supposed to represent the intruders. We also have a crane, and we also have a jet blast, or a couple jet blast deflectors that you can put on the flight deck. Overall, it's a really cool accessory list, and I think it goes very well with this aircraft carrier. And that leads me to my final thoughts. And my final thoughts are, if you're in the market for something like this, guys, I'm not trying to do a sales job here. Run out and buy it now, especially since it looks like Unimax / Forces of Valor are no longer going to be making these models. So if you want one, you better jump on it. Now, with that being said, guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.